Hi, friends. It's Natasha. I'm so excited to drop by and spend a few minutes with you guys today and talk briefly about some things that have been on my mind the last few weeks. So, for those of you that know me, thank you so much for dropping by again to hear what I have to say this Ruby Tuesday. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you dropping by every Tuesday to see, you know, what's what's going on in my world because I like to give you guys little updates as I like to always be a real person and I don't edit my videos for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time. So I like to be genuine as I can be. So, for those of you that are just dropping in for the first time, I'm Natasha, a spiritual guide and life coach here in my little office in Nova Scotia, the Cozy Cushion. So, the Cozy Cushion is my sacred space where I have an opportunity to talk about spiritual life laws and lessons, and sometimes hopefully talk about things that help people tune in to learn a little more about the universe and that it's not always working against us. Oftentimes, we need to move out of the way and understand that the universe is always working for our highest good. And sometimes when things aren't going as planned, like my last few weeks, those of you that tuned in last week, Willow, my rooster, was not having a good time. He was diagnosed with Marek's disease, which is a very common illness in chickens. And unfortunately, Willow needed to be put to sleep. So that was one of the things that happened last week that kind of didn't go according to plan. And so there was a few other things that also didn't go according to plan. So back to the topic of life is always working for us. When things are happening that are like that, it's hard to feel and understand that the world is working for us. And I understand that. So we can't sit back and pretend that we're not sad, that we're not affected emotionally by the things that happen in our daily lives. The loneliness that comes with not having somebody to talk to about our daily lives. The older I get, the more I realize that things have changed in a way that there's not always somebody just to talk about the weather with, unfortunately. There's, no one to shoot the shit and laugh and make inappropriate jokes with as often as there used to be, and our world needs more of that. So when things aren't going according to plan, it's important to have spiritually in your life good habits that work for you. If you have some bad habits, in order to change those habits that you know in your heart of hearts that you need to change, you need to have a new habit. It's very difficult to be successful in one area of our life if we're not working towards the next phase. It's also hard to be successful if we're unwilling to let go of those old habits and patterns that hold us hostage and in pain, and oftentimes hold us in our own suffering, in our own demise, because we're unwilling to use our willpower to decide to create a new habit. So when it comes time in our life, we all have those times that we have storms in our lives. Sometimes in the spiritual world, we call that the dark night of the soul, because sometimes this can last for a week. Like I had a really bad, literally consecutive week. Sometimes it lasts for a month, a year, And unfortunately, for some people, that get stuck in the drowning of that habit of believing that the universe is not working out in their favor, that things are getting worse instead of better, and they perceive everything as it's getting worse and not better. We fall prey to destructive, self defeating, and very poor habits when it comes to our diet and our nutrition, our exercise, our well being, taking good care of ourselves, those sort of things. So, in order to change our habits, even if we have good habits but we want something new, we still have to change oftentimes something that we're doing. It could be the place that we're at, it could be just our behavior in general. Maybe we need to spend more time with ourselves, planning our own thoughts, ideas, and desires, and creating a plan to put them into action so that we're not feeling suffocated by the daily life of doing our laundry, mowing our lawn, going to the feed store, going to get groceries, and helping our children in all their sports, and so on and so forth. And some of the people that have bad habits, if your habits consist of getting up in the morning and you need to find your medicine, your sacred feel good place, and you're chasing the dragon, and your day goes about trying to feel better. Deep down inside of you, there's also a desire for life to be better and for life to be good. And I'm here to remind you specifically that you can do that. You can do that. You don't have to be a slave to your dealer. You don't have to be a victim in your own story. You do not need to be unhealthy and unwell. You do not need to beat yourself up anymore. You can start creating a story that's different than you've been living, no matter how different your story might be from mine right now. One of my greatest passions in life, and the reason I hold space here at the Cozy Cushion, is because every day, in every way, I'm reminded of the suffering that we're all faced here and now as men and women and humans of all our people. We're being affected by the same things, and those things are our habits and our beliefs and our fears and our anxieties, that life is difficult. And when it is difficult, which undoubtedly, friends, I'm not saying life's not difficult, because it is, but when it's difficult, it gives us an opportunity to find solutions. Most importantly, utilize our willpower to move forward and make small changes. When we want things in life, for example, to be a better mother to our children, that's one thing that's always been a priority to me. I've made so many mistakes. But at the end of the day, my greatest love in this world is being a mom and being a voice and a storyteller of a mother type person that brings hope, and you can do this spirit, and remind you your dreams really matter, and what matters to you in your heart, even if it doesn't matter to other people, you need to hold it high in a space that you can draw on it when things go wrong, if that makes sense. That's why it's so important to build spiritual strength. You know, for me, I needed to really build my spiritual strength because I'm an empath. And by being an empath, I absorb thoughts, fears, feelings, and emotions from the outside world. For me, that can be very intense because I can also feel as a intuitive empath with psychic ability. I can also feel energy in buildings and walkways and highways and roadways, and it can be very, 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 very overwhelming. And I know there's so many other empaths. Everybody's intuitive, and there's so many other psychics that have been in fear of their abilities because it's not an easy thing to be a messenger of spirit. When you're a psychic, indeed, at the end of the day, what we are is we're messengers from spirit. We're a medium between this world and the here and now and the 3 foot away veil that stands between you and I here and now, even in this video, of energy and information that's available. So when life goes wrong and we have bad days and bad habits, it can be very deadly. It can be very lonely. It can be very scary. It can get out of control very quickly. And spiritual strength and building tools and grounding techniques that are solely yours alone. I want everybody watching my channel to understand that it's up to you to be the director of your life. It's up to you to choose adventures and ideas and experiences and situations. Moving in and out of those experiences and situations is always a willpower choice for you. So if you're suffering with your health, some of your habits and thinking may not be serving you. My good friend Ruby, that inspired me to be here every single Ruby Tuesday. Ruby suffered from severe rheumatoid arthritis at a very young age. And when I met her, she was bedridden. And she needed help, and she knew it. And she asked for it. At the time, I was a housekeeper, becoming a certified kickbox instructor and personal trainer and yoga teacher over a series of months and years. And I worked for Ruby as a housekeeper during that time. And Ruby would always ask for my help. And with a very short period of time, when she changed her habit of thinking she was disabled and bedridden, all of a sudden there was a brand new Ruby that was mobile and driven to be the very proud shopaholic that when she got into Winners would walk with vigor to shop till she dropped. And for somebody that didn't walk for a period, we'll just say 10 years, I'm not sure exactly how long it was, but it was an extended period of time that my friend suffered bedridden with bad habits of thoughts that kept her in that mental state, in that story of suffering and pain. And it was suffering and pain, so it's not that it wasn't. It's that when she changed her mind to step physically back into life with her body the way it was, as difficult as it was, we were able to step into everything from, going back out to A&W for a burger after we were shopping, and that sort of thing. So she gained spiritual strength, but when she gained spiritual strength, which she already had, that was our connection, the thing that brought us to one another is that relationship and energy, but brought her physical strength as she practiced new habits of thinking. I can, I will, and fuck around and find out. Because that was her true spirit. And the people that surrounded her, as well-meaning as they were, they felt more comfortable keeping her as a China doll so she didn't get hurt, stuck in her suffering, than seeing her fly like a phoenix and taking a chance of maybe getting hurt quite severely. Because when you have severe rheumatoid arthritis, your bones also get very brittle, so you can get hurt very easily. And I have many stories with my friend Ruby about her resiliency and how spiritual strength helped her be physically strong. So that's what I came here today to talk about, friends, was habits. I need you to look at your habits and the habits that don't serve you, the habits that keep you stuck in the story that you don't enjoy, that's no longer fun, that's giving you anxiety and suffocating you. And you need to think about new habits. For instance, when I had bad habits, my day would look like a whole lot of surviving instincts. I would get up in the morning, and so I didn't get sick, I would seek out my medicine. And once I got my medicine, I would take care of the daily business, business, like I was a young mom. So I needed to make sure that my son was taken care of and had, food in the house and groceries and the things that he needed, and to take care of his cartoons and so on and so forth. But it was always about survival. It was never about what I wanted or what I needed. It was just trying to get through each moment of each day, and it was exhausting. It really made me sad a lot of the time, and it just wasn't fun the whole time, and the more I did that, the less fun it got, the more unhealthy I got, the more stressed out I got. So I started new habits. So when I had the survival habits of being a young mom, I didn't keep track of my gratitude. I more or less kept track of my problems, because I had a lot of them. The more problems I had, actually, the more they piled up. So my habit I decided to change was I would start keeping a journal, but not a problem journal, a gratitude journal. I started being grateful for the little things, the better relationships, the opportunities of berry picking and going to pick grapes in the orchard with a friend, and earn some money, or something different. So I started keeping a gratitude journal. And it might seem like a redundant or ridiculous thing, but spiritually, it changed my life immensely. It started to bring in more things for me to be grateful for, more experiences and situations. So that's really great. So that's why I want to encourage everyone that comes to this channel and listens to me speak for a little while to look at their habits, but also look at the dreams of things they really want in their life. And something I hear on a daily basis from people that are in relationships and that are looking for relationships, one thing that I noticed that we all have in common is we're all lonely, in my opinion, because of so much social media. We're trying to get fulfillment out of that, and the scrolling, and it takes up that friendship time to spend one-on-one time with each other. But we're really missing the habit of visiting and going out with friends, and going through the cashier, for instance. Now people can go to Walmart and use self-checkout, so you're not even getting a daily interaction with a cashier. And the more artificial intelligence that we have, the more our instinctual human intelligence suffers. So habits are important. I am going to take the habit, now that I've been talking for almost 20 minutes, to finish this video. Thank you all for coming and appreciating you, because I need to cultivate a habit of disconnecting from social media and go run some errands and work in my garden. I have a rule in the summertime I try to obey by it. Honestly, people, I am so bad at this, but I have a bucket in my garden, and theoretically, I need to weed a bucket a day because it's good to keep up on our weeds. It's good to keep up and take a fresh look at our habits, because habits are a lot like weeds. We don't want to get too many bad habits because it will take over the garden of our soul and it dims our light. So no matter how dim your light is, how sad your sorrow, how traumatic life has been, how awful it is to not have certain people in your life, how alone you feel, you can always start painting and crafting habits that bring you to a different place of where you want to be. So that's the overall feeling that I want to bring to your heart and soul and to the cozy cushion today is no matter how bad things get, friends, or how bad they feel, my message is not that it could be worse. It's that it's potentially just about to get better. And you deserve better than you give yourself. So it doesn't matter who's watching this, where you live, so on and so forth. You deserve the best life. So take that as the message. The little Ruby of today is take a look. I challenge you to take a look at your habits, change some of your bad habits into better habits, and make it meaningful just to you, because friends, that's what life is all about. It's just us, really. At the end of the day, it's up to each one of us to follow our bliss. So we can follow the pain and sorrow and the suffering, or we can choose to create a painting and put on a few more colors each day and see where we land. So I always encourage those good habits as a spiritual mentor. So I'm going to end this video with one breath in. Separate those feet nice and wide. Stand nice and tall. Your head is up. Your shoulders are down and back. You're just present with me for one single, complete breath. Hands in the prayer position. Eyes are closed. Chin is up. Heart is open. Nice breath in through the nose. A little bit deeper. Exhale all the way out. You can find bliss, friends. It's available to us. You just need to step into it and be willing to have the willpower to create the world you want to see. And it's possible. So as the Hawaiian prayer goes, it starts with, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you for staying till the end. You're a trooper. You take care. I'll see you next Tuesday. We're going to talk about another healthy spiritual law, one of the 10 scrolls. And I think you're going to like it. So check back in. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time. And as always, please leave me a comment below, because I'm always looking to improve this channel and this community. And I love it when you reach out and engage with me and talk to me, maybe about some stuff that you just want to talk about with me, I would love to hear about it. So take care, get some sunshine, drink your water, and be spiritually strong. Most importantly, protect your peace.